afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to KTSM 9 News. First at 4, I'm Diana Castillo in for Monica Cortez. Now to an update, El Paso police continue to investigate 2 wrecks that left 3 people seriously injured in 2 separate incidents in East El Paso over the weekend. Now, according to a fire department spokesperson, around 6:45 Sunday evening, 2 people were transported to the hospital with serious injuries after a crash on George Dieter and Pendale. El Paso police confirmed that both patients were pedestrians. Then at 7, over on Montana and Rutherglen, 1 person was seriously hurt in a crash involving a motorcycle. Police have not released any further information on either of the crashes, and our newsroom continues to monitor both incidents. Now, a small plane made an emergency landing Sunday morning in Far East El Paso. According to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the call came in shortly around after 10 a.m. just past the Butterfield neighborhood. Now, a 1986 Piper Malibu left Las Cruces shortly after 9:30 Sunday morning. For an unknown reason, the pilot put the aircraft down in the desert scrub alongside Montana Avenue, and the Sheriff's Office says no injuries were reported after the landing. Now, U.S. Customs and Border Protection is reporting a sharp decline in illegal border crossings for the month of September. Officials reported a drop in encounters at the southwest border, just over 8,000 apprehensions recorded. Now, according to CBP, that's a 95% decline from the monthly average under the Biden administration. In the same month, CBP reported over 26,000 total encounters nationwide, compared to a high of 378,883. Now, the agency says the results reflect strengthened enforcement, empowered agents, and an overall shift towards tighter border controls. And in national news, President Trump is overseas this week with a lot at stake for the United States. In today's Political Minute, News Nation's chief Washington correspondent Blake Berman previews the big meeting with China.
So will the U.S. and China strike a deal? I'm Blake Berman, host of The Hill on News Nation. President Trump is in Asia this week, meeting with leaders from countries in the region. All eyes focused on Thursday, when he's scheduled to meet with President Xi Jinping of China in South Korea. The Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent signaling over the weekend that a framework deal is in place for Trump and Xi to consider. The 2 leaders haven't met in person since 2019, but both countries have been negotiating a range of issues in recent months. Some of the key items up for discussion include rare earth minerals, which are key to everyday items like cell phones and computers. China has threatened to export controls over its vast supply. Agriculture, another hot button issue. U.S. soybean sales to China have effectively stopped since tariffs began. The sale of the Chinese-owned company TikTok, ending the flow of fentanyl, and shipping fees are also up for negotiation. I'm Blake Berman, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
Well, the government shutdown continues this week with no end in sight. And as early as next week, over 40 million Americans will lose food assistance funds via the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as SNAP. State agencies were notified last week by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition Services that November payments would be halted given insufficient funds. Now, here in El Paso, more than 150,000 people will be impacted, including children and senior citizens. Now, the community's local food bank saying that they are preparing for the upcoming halt, noting the importance of programs like SNAP.
It's a vital human need that stabilizes families, gives people hope. It affects mental health. There's many studies and related information on that. Nutritious food for children is important in brain development. I mean, it is absolutely critical that we are able to meet this need with as many resources as we can provide.
Now, the food bank has been working hard to provide education to SNAP recipients about the upcoming changes and other available programs. The Senate is expected to hold a 13th funding vote later today. Now let's take a look outside. at our tower cam how things are looking pretty clear. Very beautiful day. Now let's turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Robert Bettis. Now, Robert, it's a big week. It's one of my favorite weeks. It's
Yes.
Halloween.
Yes, mine too.
Hopefully the weather keeps being beautiful like today.
Thank you, and I hope I still get paid. We have a little cold front that's on the way. That's the big story this week on Wednesday, and we're going to feel that chill. In fact, we're going to wake up Thursday morning in the 30s potentially. 85 is the temperature at the airport right now. Man, perfection achieved. A little breezy over there. Eastern slopes gusting to 29 miles per hour right now. Las Cruces 81. Winds coming in 14 miles per hour, gusting to 19. Here's a look at the temperatures so far today. We've made it to 86 Juarez, 85 El Paso, 82 Las Cruces, and 84 Deming. Now, we knew today would be the warmest day before those temperatures begin to come down. I think we're still going to squeak out an 80 tomorrow, but by late tomorrow evening, the winds start to pick up. It's the cold front that comes in on Wednesday. It's going to drop us down to 67 degrees, but when those winds stop that night, that's when it gets really cold. I'm going to have your detailed forecast, your Halloween forecast, all coming up in just a bit. Diana.
Robert, thank you. Now let's go to traffic. Take a look at your TxDOT cams. We are looking at I-10 at Americas. Everything is moving smoothly, as you can see. Now prices continue to rise for American consumers, according to a report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now prices went up 0.3% from August to September, with prices up 3% since September of last year. Now, State Capitol reporter Adam Schwagner looks into what this means for Texans.
Prices 3% higher than they were at this time last year. And some experts say the trend is showing no signs of slowing.
I don't think, in my opinion, based on these issues, that inflation is going to go down in the near future, and it may actually go up.
The hardest hit areas since last year: housing costs up by 3.6%, food costs going up by 3.1%, energy costs up 2.8%.
But thank God for tariffs.
The day before the numbers were announced, President Trump said,
Inflation I've already taken care of. Economically, the country is the strongest it's ever been.
Texas Democrats are harping on the impact of tariffs and immigration raids.
And like every single time this number comes out, it is horrifying.
In a series of press releases, they slammed the Texas House Republicans' no vote on a proposed amendment to the state's budget, which would have required the state to study and disclose the impacts of tariffs on Texas's economy.
I cannot imagine in my wildest dreams why you would vote down an item to look at food costs and inflationary measures when that is what the people have been screaming about.
The Democrats specifically called out 4 representatives by name: Round Rock's Caroline Harris Davila, San Benito's Janie Lopez, Flower Mound's Ben Baumgardner, and Houston's Lacey Hull. None of the 4 responded to our request for comment.
Every Republican on the floor voted for it. I mean, we can take any of them and throw it up there. It's exactly the same.
If tariffs are a driving factor, the impact could increase in the coming months.
Companies, what they did is prior to the tariffs, they built up these huge inventories of relatively inexpensive imported goods. Those are running out.
In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
Now, due to inflation numbers, Social Security will also be going up in 2026, with benefits increasing by 2.8%. Now, coming up, El Paso Community College is teaming up with school districts for the 7th annual Sun City Portfolio Day. We'll tell you what that entails in just a bit. Then, the star on the mountain shines red. We'll share what some of you had to say in our comment segment. Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News, First at 4, putting local first.
that costs over $200 everywhere else. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Well, the star on the mountain will shine bright red, honoring Red Ribbon Week, the national campaign promoting drug-free lifestyles. Now, Red Ribbon Week, which runs from October 23rd to the 31st, raises awareness of the dangers of drug use and highlights the importance of making safe and healthy choices. Now, according to the El Paso Chamber, the campaign began in honor of Drug Enforcement Administration DEA Special Agent Enrique S. Kiki Camarena, who was tragically killed by drug traffickers in 1985. In 1988, the National Family Partnership established the first official Red Ribbon Week. Now, we shared this story to our social media accounts, and many of you had some thoughts that you wanted to share. Let's start with Mac Case, who says, El Paso needs a drunk driving free living. Christopher Thea says, cool, looks trippy. And Phoenix Curry writes, going to say something that my dad said as a joke during my first Red Ribbon Week. Dare is what it was called then. Drugs are really expensive, don't do them. A news release sent by the El Paso Chamber reads, by turning the star red, El Paso Chamber joins organizations nationwide in this visible stand against drug use, encouraging our community to remain vigilant and proactive in building a safer, stronger El Paso, end quote. Now, here at KTSM, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. Make sure you are following us on all our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Now next, the days of major energy producers just digging for oil in Texas are over. Now they're going after lithium and other rare earth minerals. This is KTSM News First at 4.
With 3.99% APR financing. Catch spooky savings at 6330 Montana.
your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
All right, well, tomorrow is recognizing the courage and commitment of local heroes with a special giveaway in honor of National First Responders Day. As a gesture of gratitude for their service, select Dunkin' locations across El Paso will offer a $5 Dunkin' promo card to the first 50 first responders who visit and present their badge. Now, the promotion begins at 5 a.m. and is available at 3 participating Dunkin' restaurants. You can see those addresses on your screen. Yeah. How nice.
And if you park the fire truck right in front, you get an extra dozen.
There you go.
I'm kidding. I don't speak for Dunkin' Donuts, but I think that's very nice.
Yes, it
Your
is.
favorite donut, Diana?
Ooh, probably the Boston cream.
Oh, with the cream filling with the little strip of chocolate? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've changed mine to yours.
Really?
Yes.
What was yours before?
It was the little round one with the chocolate, but I'm selling myself short when I can have more. But we're not first responders. We just report about first responders. Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a look at a live image in Ruidoso right now. What a beautiful afternoon. My goodness, does it get any better? I love October. Yes, temperatures are a little above normal, but that's about to adjust with a cold front that hits us on Wednesday, and we're going to need a jacket. By Tuesday night, we'll start feeling those winds, and then by Wednesday, much cooler. In fact, 68 degrees is the temperature in Ruidoso right now. Our high on Wednesday in El Paso should be about 67 degrees. So get ready for a cool down. Here are the low temperatures from this morning. We had 62 at the airport, 55 Juarez, 51 Las Cruces, 49 Deming, and 52 Alamogordo. Here were the high temperatures so far today. We knew today would be the warmest day of the week. 85 for us so far, 86 Juarez, 84 Van Horn, 81 Alamogordo, and 79 for Truth or Consequences. Satellite radar composite. Good luck finding any clouds. We are way too dry at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and we're going to stay that way all the way through our cool front. That brings zero moisture with it, so no chance of showers or anything like that, just wind Tuesday night and especially Wednesday morning. Here are the temperatures in your neighborhood right now. Once again, we'll be clear tonight. We've got a westerly breeze coming in at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but that breeze will settle down and then we'll cool back down. Here is your exclusive 9-hour forecast for tomorrow. I'm going to pull the temperature down about 5 degrees. I think our high will be 80, which of course is still above normal. We'll start to get a little windy in the afternoon. Those winds will come in from the east at 5 to 20 miles per hour, which of course means west siders, you'll have the stronger gusts. Your allergy forecast, 9 tomorrow, and then 12s for Wednesday and Thursday. Terrible situation forming for Jamaica. In fact, they've already received heavy rainfall on that island. You can see the island here, and look at that eye wall. This is a Category 5 storm. According to the National Hurricane Center, it will approach the western portion of Jamaica by about noon on Tuesday as a Category 4. Of course, everything to the east of the eye wall will bring the surge and the strongest winds, and that would put their capital of Kingston in play as well. Pray for them. Devastating, potentially, situation for Jamaica. Here are your lows tonight. 47 Alamogordo, 44 Deming, 57 for Juarez, 53 for Van Horn, and your high temperatures tomorrow coming down just a little bit. 76 Alamogordo, 81 for Deming, 80 for Juarez, and 77 for Van Horn. Now, coming up in about 30 minutes, I'm going to have your exclusive 9-day forecast. We'll talk about Halloween and the time change. Oh yeah, it's all coming up. You stay with KTSM 9 News.
learn more. Join us on Saturday, November 8th at the Outlet Shops at El Paso.
Well, El Paso Community College is teaming up with school districts for the 7th annual Sun City Portfolio Day. Now this year, the community college has teamed up with EPISD, SISD, and YISD. Now this event lets high school and EPCC students showcase their artwork to potential colleges and universities. Now this year, EPCC says 28 colleges and universities as far as California and New York will be at hand. Now we spoke with a high school senior who tells us that this is the second year he attends.
I thought it was more just a hobby and something I can get good at when I'm bored on my free time. But coming here really helps me understand how important art is and where it can really take me in life if I really want to go somewhere with this.
Now the event took place at the Socorro ISD SAC 2 Fine Arts Building and went on this morning and wrapped up around noon. Now happening today, judges, lawyers, and government officials of all religions are invited to today's Red Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral in downtown El Paso. According to the Catholic Diocese of El Paso, the Red Mass is a centuries-old tradition. Bishop Mark Seitz will lead everyone in prayers specifically for those who work in the legal field. Now the special Mass is taking place today at 5:30 p.m. Once again, they're inviting people of all faiths to come out tonight. Now to consumer news. When you think your credit card is paid off, the last thing you expect is to keep getting bills and late fees. Now for one woman, that's exactly what happened. It took months of frustration before she finally got results. Now as Jill Kuramoto reports, her story is a reminder to read the fine print and know where to turn to get help.
For 6 long months, Linda Asato says she's been fighting a battle she thought she'd already won.
But this 68808 is still missing. I have proof that I made the payment from my credit union.
Linda says she paid off the balance on her discount department store credit card, which is managed through Synchrony Bank. But they continued to tell her she owed money and interest.
I want them to admit that there was an error in their bookkeeping and to wipe my balance to a zero, and I'm closing the account.
Linda said she called customer service.
The customer service representative just said, well, I'll look into it, and I got no answer back.
She filed complaints with the State Consumer Affairs Department and the Federal Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, but continued to get statements showing an unpaid balance.
It has been really very stressful for me.
That's when Linda turned to Action Line for help. We reached out to Synchrony Bank, which responded to us that they were working to resolve the matter as quickly as possible. Linda tells us as of today, she received an email from the bank saying they're correcting her account, but she has not yet received a statement reflecting this. The Better Business Bureau tells us they've received 3 other complaints in Hawaii against Synchrony Bank in the last year, which have been resolved. But several class action lawsuits filed recently in other states have targeted Synchrony Bank over deceptive and discriminatory credit card practices. The BBB says when it comes to store credit cards, don't get swept up in the pressure to open a credit account on the spot.
Do your research on, yes, that credit card, but as you're doing the research on that credit card, the benefits, you'll also discover, oh, here's the financial institution behind it, and you can learn more about them as well.
And if you find yourself in a similar situation like Linda's, the BBB says document everything.
You want to make sure you're keeping a record of your interactions with them, your communications, and then any kind of receipt.
All right, well, that's it for us here on KTSM Plus. But don't go anywhere. We have another half hour of news and weather coming up on KTSM 9 News First at 4.
800-714-6291. Call now.
Well, the government shutdown is in its 27th day and has reached a major deadline for those relying on government assistance. Now, as of today, SNAP funds will not be deposited into eligible accounts, leaving those who rely on the food stamp program to find other ways to purchase groceries. Now, State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager talked to the food banks about how they're preparing to help millions of Texans during the shutdown.
Texas food banks have already had a rough time during the shutdown.
The time is now for the government to reopen.
According to census data, over 450,000 Texans are either federal employees or military personnel, many of whom have gone without a paycheck in October. That number pales in comparison to the over 3.5 million Texans on SNAP.
That means those people will show up in our lines, and that is going to strain our resources.
Those SNAP recipients won't be getting their November benefits, with the USDA saying the well has run dry. Food banks say they'll try to help in the meantime, but need SNAP to meet capacity.
For every meal that food banks across the state provide, SNAP provides 9 meals.
The impact is starting to be felt on the streets, where people like William McManus are working to help the homeless from going hungry.
It's going to be extremely difficult. They're going to see a rise in phone calls, maybe potentially like a rise in crime, or just a rise in anything that, people will get desperate to get food.
For those who need to find food, Feeding Texas encourages people to go to the website of their nearest food bank and click Find Food Now. They also need volunteers and monetary donations to help them purchase the food.
Can drives are a great way to support us, but with those dollars, we're able to purchase significantly more food.
In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
Now, this would be a good place to let your local market know which food bank services them and which resources they can go to. Now, the days of major energy producers just digging for oil in Texas are over. Now they're going after lithium and other rare earth minerals, investing billions in what they are calling a modern-day gold rush. News Nation's Xavier Walton explains.
The days of major energy producers only digging for oil here in Texas are sort of a thing of the past. Now they're going after lithium and rare earth minerals, investing billions in what many believe and what many are calling a modern-day gold rush. We're talking about companies such as Chevron, Halliburton, Exxon, all racing to open lithium mines in East Texas, where they've been drilling for more than a century. Lithium is used for things like, phones, laptops, electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, microchips, even cruise missiles. But the U.S. doesn't produce enough lithium or other critical minerals to meet its clean energy needs, at least not yet. A major discovery last month, changing that to a degree. The most lithium-rich fluids ever found in North America were spotted in a massive brine deposit called the Smackover Formation. That rock formation, uncovered roughly 20 years ago, stretches from East Texas into Arkansas to the Florida Panhandle. Experts say that region alone quickly becoming one of the central hubs for the U.S. lithium production, and in 10 years, so a decade, it could be the nation's largest domestic source. The U.S. Geological Survey says the Arkansas portion alone could contain enough lithium to meet global demand for the car batteries 9 times over. Think about that. Right now, China, third largest producer and processor of lithium, posing serious economic and national security risks, but the Smackover discovery could help change that.
It's all imported from China right now. And they do have the ability, if they stop export, which was recently announced, they were going to really restrict the export of it. It could grind our economy to a halt in a matter of months.
Douglas Wicks, that's the gentleman you just heard from, says with the support of the Department of Energy, the U.S. could start significantly reducing lithium imports from China by 2027. And many believe this domestic boom can't come soon enough. In Dallas, Xavier Walton, News Nation.
All right, switching gears now, let's take a look outside through our tower cam. Looking beautiful and looking clear. Now let's take it on to Robert Bettis for our first look at the weather.
Diana, bring it on down. Bring it on over.
Yeah, Robert.
Come
big
on over
week.
to the Weather Center.
Big week. Halloween.
Yes.
What can we expect?
And time change. Does that bother you or do you like it?
I actually like it. That might be controversial, but I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I know.
I know. I like it when it's light till 8:30, but I guess that's just summer. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
85 degrees is the temperature right now at the International Airport. Man, what a beautiful day. It's hard to pay attention. 17 miles per hour, winds from the west gusting to about 29 miles per hour right now. We'll call that a little breezy. It's going to get windy again tomorrow night. Only west siders get ready because the winds shift direction with a cold front that comes in, and we'll feel it especially on Wednesday, with a high temperature of only 67 degrees. Here are the winds right now, all flowing in from the west. That's why we're so nice and warm. I predicted 84. We've been 85, and we may not be done yet. 86 Juarez, 82 Las Cruces, 84 Deming, and 74 for Ruidoso. We'll be cloud-free through the night tonight, and yes, the winds will die down. Another cool night tonight, mid-50s at the airport. Tomorrow, 80 degrees, our high temperature, and then here comes that cold front. But will we be chilly for Halloween? I'm going to have your exclusive 9-day forecast coming up in just a bit. Diana.
All right, Robert, thank you. Now on to national news. The government shutdown is entering the month mark, and pressure is mounting for both sides to strike a deal. Our DC's Raquel Martin is in Washington, where thousands of federal workers aren't getting paid.
The stakes are only rising as the federal government shutdown drags on.
It's a national disgrace.
Monday, House Republicans blamed Democrats for the impasse, now in its 27th day.
It's almost been a full month since the Democrats shut down the government.
But Democrats are showing no signs of folding. Sunday, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries told CBS News,
"We continue to demand that Republicans sit at the negotiating table."
November 1st marks the start of open enrollment. The Kaiser Family Foundation predicts Americans shopping for Affordable Care Act plans will face sticker shock unless Republicans agree to extend COVID-era tax credits.
In Connecticut, if you're 60 years old and making somewhere around $60,000, you could be seeing a $25,000 increase in your premium.
November 1st also could mark the day millions of Americans lose access to federal food assistance. The Department of Agriculture issued this warning online. Around the country, food banks and distribution sites like this one in Washington, D.C. Monday are preparing for a surge of people in need. And as millions of federal workers go without pay, the president of the largest union representing them called for it to end, writing, quote, "It's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today."
Now, Democrats and Republicans have not held formal talks since the shutdown began, and President Trump, who is in Asia this week, has rejected calls to negotiate. Now to world news. On Sunday, Pope Leo XIV calling on the Catholic to be united and inclusive, and call came after a day that encapsulated the church's ongoing effort to hold together its diverse sensibilities. Now on Saturday, the traditional Latin Mass was once again celebrated, presided over by conservative American Cardinal Raymond Burke. That same day, however, the Synodal Assembly voted to approve a document endorsing greater openness towards the LGBT community. Now coming up, Project Jupiter, the 12-figure data center that's being built near Santa Teresa, part of port of entry, is once again facing pushback. Now we share some of your thoughts in our comment section. Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News First at 4, putting local first.
Segment sponsored by your local Nissan dealers.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
All right, check this out. Chipotle is bringing back its Halloween promotion this year, offering $6 entries to Chipotle Reward members who show up to their restaurants wearing a costume on October 31st. The burrito event, burrito event, has become a popular occasion for the chain, drawing customers who look forward to its annual return. Now, the offer is available in restaurants only from 3 p.m. to close on Halloween. All right, Robert.
I got a library of Halloween costumes hanging in my closet.
But the question is, what are you going to be this year? Can you give us a hint? A hint.
Wednesday. Wednesday is the revealing of the Bettis family costumes for 2025.
I thought Wednesday Addams. That's where my head went.
We've done that.
Oh, you have?
That was
okay.
2009. I can't even give you the years. Been there, done that.
Okay.
Hey, we all should go to my closet, get all the costumes, and go to Chipotle.
Perfect.
Done. There's dinner. All right, here are the high temperatures so far today. 86 for Juarez, 85 El Paso, 84 Deming, 77 Silver City, 74 Ruidoso, 61 for Clowncroft. If you think, wow, it's a little warm. Yeah, it's above normal at this point, but at least it's beautiful blue skies. Winds are breezy. This is so good. October is good. Close to 100 degrees down in Laredo today. 96 Brownsville, 89 Austin, a pleasant 79 Dallas, 77 up in Albuquerque. Here are those wind gusts right now. Now, all the winds flowing in from the west at anywhere from 10 to up to about 30 miles per hour, especially on the eastern slopes. Well, here's what's going to happen with the winds. In the night tonight, the winds begin to die down. And then by tomorrow, they're going to reverse direction, coming in from the northeast and then east. So Westsiders, by late tomorrow evening, a little windy at times. And then on Wednesday morning, when the cold front comes down, it's going to feel awfully chilly, so make sure you have a jacket, especially for Wednesday morning. Clear skies on the satellite radar composite right now. Here is your temperature in Las Cruces. It is 82 degrees, winds 16 miles per hour, gusting to 21 miles per hour, and 12% relative humidity. Here are the temperatures in your neighborhood. Enjoy a beautiful night. Yes, the winds will back off later tonight, and so in the early morning hours, fairly light breezes. Then we'll see the winds shift tomorrow, especially late in the evening. Here's your 9-hour forecast for Tuesday. I'm pulling that high temperature down to 80 degrees, which of course is still above normal. Windy, especially late in the day as the cooler air starts to flow in. Allergy-wise, 9 for Tuesday and then 2 12s Wednesday and Thursday, the highest number it can be. 49 your low temperature in Las Cruces tonight with clear skies and light winds. Tomorrow, high temperature going down to 80 degrees with sunshine. For us tonight at the airport, about 57 at the airport, about 52 down in the valley this evening, and then 80 degrees our high temperature for tomorrow. Now, only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Wednesday, that's when the cold front comes down. The winds start late Tuesday evening and extend through Wednesday morning. 67 the high temperature. 73 on Thursday. One perfect normal day before we start to warm right back up. A little windy, especially east side on Friday. 81 for Halloween. 83 Saturday, beautiful day. Clocks go back 1 hour early Sunday morning with a high of 84. 85 on Monday, much like today, and then breezy on Tuesday and Wednesday, highs in the low 80s. Diana.
All right, Robert, thank you. Now let's take a look at traffic through our TxDOT cams. We are looking at I-10 and Crockett, looking clear on both sides. Now let's see if we can get another camera. All right, well, it looks like that's all we have, but looking clear if that is your commute. Oh, there it is. Also looking clear on both sides. All right, the New Mexico Environmental Law Center and several other parties have filed a lawsuit against the Doña Ana County Board of County Commissioners. Now, for what they're calling the board's unlawful actions related to the controversial Project Jupiter, a data center project that would be built outside of Santa Teresa. Now, the New Mexico Environmental Law Center is challenging the board's unlawful approval of 3 ordinances related to Project Jupiter. The group said the county board relied on a single incomplete and inadequate application to support its decision adopting all 3 ordinances. The group said the application had blank and missing pages. Now, we shared this story to our social media accounts, and many of you had some thoughts you wanted to share. Sharon Valdez says the data center will use water needed for human consumption and pollution and raise energy bills. Freddie Torres said, wow, that's why we can't have nice things. Here's the opportunity to grow, create jobs, and help the area gain a step in the tech industry, and people are trying to shut it down. People with narrow mindsets is the reason why southern New Mexico is still behind on everything. Artie Degani says, just simply ask AI to determine a data center causes the community it's built in, and you will get your answer. Now, according to the group, data centers like the proposed Project Jupiter use massive amounts of water, and in order to operate across the nation, create immense strain on local electricity grids and public water supplies, where community members like those from Santa Teresa have already lacked access to clean, safe, and affordable drinking water for decades. Now, here at KTSM, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure that you are following us on all our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Now, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. This is KTSM 9 News at 4.
Segment sponsored by Emergence Health Network.
Hello everyone, it's time for another Mindful Monday, and today we have a unique topic. We're talking about mental health and semi-truck drivers. So what are some of these challenges that these individuals can experience?
Well, a lot of isolation, being away from family, events, traditions that they're missing out on. Sedentary lifestyle can be difficult.
And they have the dealing with traffic and also, you know, meeting those deadlines.
Right, those deadlines are difficult to meet. A lot of things are out of their control.
Okay. What can we do to help these individuals and help with these concerns?
I think one thing is control what you can, which is nutrition, what are you eating, hydration is so important, and then physical movement and sleep schedule and hygiene. Wherever you can control those things, it's important that we do so.
Okay, Lupita, thank you very much. And EHN is actually launching a program to help the semi-truck drivers. It's called No Load is Too Heavy. You can learn more about that on our website at emergencehealthnetwork.org.
Chance to win a $5,000 reward. Log on to the KTSM.com contest page to find out more.
Let's get you a last look at your exclusive 9-day forecast. High temperature tomorrow, 80 degrees with sunshine, a little bit cooler. Winds start to come in tomorrow night and through the night. That indicates the approach of the cold front. That'll drop us to 67 on Wednesday. Look at Thursday morning at 39 degrees at the airport. 73 for a beautiful and near normal Thursday. Halloween will warm back up with the winds, which will be occasionally gusty, and then turn those clocks back 1 hour early Sunday morning. Here's the woman who loves the time change. She might be the only one in the world.
I think I am.
Diana.
Well, let us know if you like the time change too. But thank you, Robert, and thank you for watching. We still have more news and weather coming up at KTSM 9 News now at 5.